So when we talk about networks, there is basically different ways to take the various actors of the networks and put them together to form a network. And so when we say topology, is basically the way the elements, the links, and the devices, nodes, and so on are connected to each other. So the most simple one is point-to-point. This is the simplest technology. Bluetooth is typically a point-to-point. I don't know if I spelled it correctly, but it's basically when you try to pair two devices to each other, you're establishing a point-to-point communication between those two devices. So now whether the connection is a wire or it's wireless, it depends, but basically those two actors are exchanging data to each other. So this is really not a network per se, it's more like a one-to-one communication. Matthew, yeah, so that's an interesting question. So it depends. At the level of discourse, a local area network is a small set of devices connected to each other in some close proximity, where it's a building, multiple building, a campus, an entire campus, university campus that could still be a LAN. Different locations, there is also ways to establish a local area network in very different locations. If you think about a company that has many offices all over the world, and still basically have a local area network set up. This is typically virtualized in some ways over the internet with different protocols and so on. So we're not going to go there. That starts to become complicated pretty quickly, whether it's VLAN, VPN, and so on. But yeah, I think for the purpose of this class, the best way to define a LAN is a set of computers in close proximity that are connected by a set of switches. Okay, great. Next network topology, a ring. A ring is basically a set of one-to-one connections that creates a circle. You see it in this picture. All the stations here, in order to form a ring, they have to be cooperative, meaning that a ring needs to provide connectivity from this guy to this guy going through some other guy. And so this guy here needs to be cooperative.